And we're back. This is Neal Isaacs, the Raleigh business broker, coming to you with another quick tip for business owners, business buyers, anybody who's considering the sale of their business. I am an intermediary. I help owners with their sale of their business, and I do valuations, and I like to answer questions here on the web. Today's question comes from Brian. Brian asked a great question for business brokers, one of my favorites. He said, "Hey, Neal, what should I be asking a business broker if I'm thinking about hiring him or her?" So I'll give you a few questions that any solid business broker should have great answers to. The first one is just how long you've been in business, right? So this is a fair question to ask anyone you're thinking about giving them the service. Ask them, hey, how long you been doing this? What'd you do before? Is this a full-time gig for you? A lot of business brokers are kind of doing it as a side hustle. So just make sure that they've committed their career to doing business brokerage. And then another natural question is, hey, if you sell my business, what is your marketing strategy? You found me, the seller, but how are you going to find my buyer? A good business broker should have a multi-pronged approach. There's some easy ways to sell a business, but then there's the hard ways where you go the extra mile. So listen for your business broker and make sure that they're not kind of making it up as they go. Listen for words like, in this other business we sold, we found the buyer this way, and that didn't work for this other business. So listen for a deal experience in finding different buyers. Buyers come from all over the place. It's a totally fair question to ask. How does your business broker get paid? You want to understand their model. Most business brokers work on a success fee of some sort. So ask them about their fee. They should know their fee. They shouldn't say, I'll tell you later, or let's dig into your business first. They can give you a range, but you want a direct answer on how they get paid. And ask them, hey, have you sold businesses like mine before? These are all fair questions. Maybe they're a specialist and your business doesn't really fit their specialty. You want to know that they sell businesses like yours. They have buyers in your market of your size and similar. Ask your broker, another tip, about how long, what's your average length of time to sell a business. I'll give you some stats. The IBBA's Market Pulse Survey, which comes out every quarter, and I've shared it in this forum previously, says that business deals take somewhere between 6 and 9 months, depending on the quarter and depending on the size of the deal. If your broker says, we'll get it done in a month, that's an indication that maybe they're not in touch with the real numbers. If they say 18 months to 2 years, that doesn't make sense either, right? And I know that there is a outfit out there that signs 5-year listing engagements. Run if you hear something like that. It takes under a year to sell a business in most cases, so why would somebody need 5 years? And ask them what their closing rate is. Here's a stat. Here's another stat. Unfortunately, if you go on the major listing site for businesses, small businesses for sale, the Zillow of business sales, 1 out of 5 of those, 20%, end up selling. The other ones just kind of die on the vine. Does the broker that you're interviewing have greater than a 20% closing rate? I hope that they do. I hope that they do. But ask them that question. Ask them how they calculate that. If you're looking at hiring someone and paying them a significant commission, success fee. So it's totally fine to probe these type of things. And you're going to learn a lot just by asking these questions. Ask them about their credentials. Now, depending on what market you're in, they may not need any credentials at all to sell a business. I'm in North Carolina. The real estate commission does not oversee business sales. It's not tied to business brokerage in this market. In other markets like Florida, California, I believe Texas, you do need a real estate license to sell businesses. But above and beyond that, brokers can get a CBI, mergers and acquisitions designations. There's all types of different designations. There's weekend designations. There's designations that take years and years. But just ask them, what have you done to invest in your career as a business intermediary? What type of training do you have? Do you have credentials specific to business brokerage? You may be talking to a commercial real estate agent that thinks they can sell a business, and they may be able to, but that's very, very different than selling a business, especially if there's no real estate. We see that a lot. So just probe for business selling credentials and experiences. And then the last thing I'd say is ask them, hey, where do you conduct private meetings, right? So you might not always want to have a meeting at your place of business. Do they have a private office where you can host buyer owner meetings? Because these are really important parts of a deal. Are they meeting at Starbucks and Panera's? That's a different business model, but just ask that question. Do you have the tools to run this campaign and to get through this process? Probably more than you were looking for, Brian, but those are some of the questions that I would ask a business broker, intermediary, if I was considering hiring them. And me as an intermediary, I kind of know the questions to ask, but steal my questions, Brian, and ask those if you're considering the sale of your business. That's all the ones I have for today. There are more. Direct message me if you want a full list. Put your questions and comments here in the thread if there's something open that you want to talk about with business brokerage. And obviously confidential questions, just direct message me or email me those questions. I am Neal Isaacs, the Raleigh business broker. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, sign off.